Watch closely. This footage was captured by a photographer traveling in China. You can see an elderly man walking on the ground, and suddenly he disappears.
NIH, who are high-level deputies under Anthony Fauci, who get to collect $150,000 a year forever, not just for their lives, but their children. As long as that mRNA technology is on the market, they're going to be making money from it.
Stay tuned for the next part, where we'll uncover the mysterious greens. Don't miss it. Listing all the reported extraterrestrials, Part 6, the greens. Have you heard of the mysterious greens? Let's
Cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, Alzheimer's, heart disease, and all kinds of autoimmune diseases. Our maternal mortality rate soared highest of any developed country on Earth. Things like the frog and the silks.
And yeah, we're back on the cryptid iceberg today. So there's this theory that some UFOs that people report might actually be these massive creatures that live way up in the sky. They're known as atmospheric beasts. They seem to defy all rules of understood biology, like being able to fly or levitate.
They're about 5 nanometers in diameter. Very unusual properties. One of these properties is they can coat nutrients and protect the nutrients from oxidative damage. They can help carry nutrients.
think it's just an ordinary mosquito, but it's actually a sophisticated spy device. It's powered by a micronuclear battery.
What's up, everybody? I appreciate everybody for the love, support, liking, commenting, and the new subscribers. Hopefully all is well in y'all lives. We got to keep rocking out together. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I got one that's about an hour for us, some interesting, crazy things. Hopefully y'all like it. Very informative too. And let's just do what we do.
Watch closely. This footage was captured by a photographer traveling in China. You can see an elderly man walking on the ground, and suddenly he disappears into the earth. This magic is known in China as earth escaping technique or geography technique. It's one of the most basic spells in Chinese metaphysics. The earth escaping technique is different from the earth burrowing technique. The earth burrowing technique uses earth materials as a medium, grabbing soil and turning it into dust, then summoning wind to escape using the earth. However, the earth escaping technique allows the practitioner to move freely underground, like a goldfish swimming in water. This technique is not just a means of escape. It also allows the practitioner to explore underground worlds that are difficult for ordinary people to reach. Truly, a marvelous technique. It lets one sink into the ground in an instant.
Let me ask you this about Big Pharma.
That can't be real, right? Because it be so much out here now. Like, AI is starting to get wild. So let me know what y'all think about that one. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
And this is about vaccines. You say that the government regulators have been bought off by Big Pharma. I think that's what you're saying when you say that this entanglement has occurred. You said agency employees are actually getting royalties, getting payments on vaccines and drugs that they approve. Is that true?
Yes, there's a couple things happening. For example, the Moderna vaccine. NIH owns half of that vaccine, 50%. So the billions of dollars that vaccine makes, half of that goes to NIH, the agency, but there's also individuals, at least 4 and maybe 6 individuals who work for NIH who are high-level deputies under Anthony Fauci, who get to collect $150,000 a year forever, not just for their lives, but their children. As long as that mRNA technology is on the market, they're going to be making money from it.
Okay,
and that is a conflict.
See, and when I hear things like that, y'all, like, how can we really have unity? I was just talking to one of my boys about it the other day. I was like, okay, let's just say we in a society where nobody have to work, right? We all have You know, like prime example, let's say you a descendant of Elon Musk. How could you really be on the same level as somebody like me that maybe they ancestors didn't do nothing? You can't tell me we both want to be on the equal footing. Who would want to be on the equal footing? Brother, we wouldn't have this without my, you see what I'm saying? So it's one of them things I feel like, how could things truly be equal? How could that even occur? So let me know your thoughts about that one. Like, I really do think like this is one of the problems to where we probably need a great reset, because in all honesty, like, bro, nobody want to give up their power. So like, hey, it could get sticky. I think it's going to be a system that's going to be very troublesome to fix.
Hang on a minute now, because I don't want to blow by this too fast. So the National Institute of Health is getting a kickback, a bribe, a royalty, a share, whatever you want to call it. Is this not a clear conflict of interest?
Yes.
That's what you're pointing out, right?
Yeah, it is. People are shocked.
Why are you the only one talking about this?
If you talk about this kind of thing, you get censored on YouTube. You will not be allowed on the mainstream media to talk about these issues. It used to be that you could, and nowadays you cannot. With FDA, about 50% of FDA's budget comes from regulated industries, so mainly the pharmaceutical industries. You have agency capture on steroids. The principal objective of FDA today is to serve the mercantile interests of pharmaceutical companies. And that's why you see FDA not only approving all of these drugs that shouldn't be approved, but they also are, out to destroy things that are actually shown to be good for you, that do not make profits for the pharmaceutical companies.
And this is one reason why, y'all, we have to really look. I don't know for those who dislike Trump and what he's doing, but if he is the light that brings, that pushes the darkness away, we need that, because regardless of what you believe, I'll give you a story. I remember when COVID was going on, it was this beautiful white family, right? We was moving. They moving into a mansion. And I remember talking to the lady about Joe Rogan. Oh, he's basically an idiot. He just going in. And no disrespect in my mind at the time, I'm like, yeah, but I think you the idiot, because you don't even want to watch him to even compare. You just think Fauci know what he talk about. Like I'm the type of person, and it's just me. If you do or say certain things that's like crazy to me or don't make no sense, I judge everything else at that point. I'm like, how wise are your choices? You see what I'm saying? How knowledgeable is your choices or your thoughts? Are you really investigating these things, or are you just taking them at face value? Like one of my boxing coaches was like, yeah, Fauci know what he talking about. I trust Fauci. And I'm just like, even with the mask, to me, when they had the mask, I'm like, if it's not sealed and you don't have your own regulated oxygen, you still breathing in these viruses, especially if they say it's airborne. How if the side of them little masks, that's meant to not get fluids into your patients if you do surgical operations. So when I really was hearing it, just in my mind, the way my mind, I'm not going to, I think I'm a theoretical thinker, right? I think my brain, the way I'm not going to say I'm the smartest guy in math, the smartest guy in history, but I think when it comes to theoretical thinking, then there's no disrespect. I've been around, I haven't been around enough people, but I don't think no person, like, well, not, I think I think I can hold my own with a lot of other theoretical thinkers. I can add some things because that's how I got to where I am now, just by my mind. I ain't have my last parent was at 12. So I think we really have to have discernment and make these decisions, because what will be the impacts on the next generation with these microplastics, these other harmful chemicals? Like, really, we could be altered. We could be making the next generation pay for our comfortability today. So I think we really have to be mindful of the decisions and the people we put in powerful positions.
Listing all the reported extraterrestrials. Part 1. The Greys. Did you know these aliens are the most reported ones worldwide?
The Greys are described as small beings with large heads and huge black eyes. They're often linked to abductions and strange experiments. The most famous case? The Betty and Barney Hill incident in 1961. This couple claimed to have been abducted by Greys in New Hampshire. Their story became one of the first widely publicized alien abduction accounts. Have you heard of this case? In the next video, we'll dive into the reptilians. Don't miss it. Listing all the reported extraterrestrials. Part 2. The reptilians. Could ancient stories of serpent gods actually point to alien visitors? Meet the reptilians. Reptilians are described as tall humanoid beings with scaly, lizard-like skin. Some believe they've appeared in myths and legends, like the Naga in Indian mythology or Quetzalcoatl in Mesoamerican lore. These beings are said to work in the shadows, influencing human affairs for centuries. Are they protectors or something else entirely? Do you think they're real? In the next video, we'll explore the mysterious Nordic aliens. Stay tuned. Want me to prepare Part 3? Listing all the reported extraterrestrials. Part 3. The Nordics. Could extraterrestrials look like us? Let's talk about the mysterious Nordic aliens. Nordic aliens, often described as tall, blonde, and human-like, are said to radiate wisdom and peace. They're believed to guide humanity towards spiritual growth and avoid conflicts. One famous story comes from the 1950s, where contactee George Adamski claimed to meet a Nordic alien named Orthon, who warned of nuclear dangers. Their message? Protect the Earth. Do they sound like allies or something more? In the next part, we'll uncover the dark and enigmatic Anunnaki. Follow for Part 4, listing all the reported extraterrestrials. Part 4, the Anunnaki. Could an ancient civilization's gods actually have been extraterrestrials? Meet the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki are often linked to ancient Mesopotamian texts, where they're described as powerful deities. Some theories suggest they were extraterrestrial visitors who played a role in shaping human civilization, possibly sharing knowledge of agriculture, architecture, and astronomy. Their influence is said to be seen in ancient structures and myths worldwide. Do the Anunnaki represent history, myth, or something more? In the next part, we'll dive into the mysterious Pleiadians. Don't miss it. Listing all the reported extraterrestrials. Part 5. The Pleiadians. What if aliens were here to guide us toward peace and enlightenment? Meet the Pleiadians. The Pleiadians are said to come from the Pleiades star cluster and are described as highly advanced beings with a deep connection to spirituality. Stories often depict them as looking human, radiating kindness, and sharing messages of harmony and self-improvement. Many believe they inspire individuals to live in balance with nature and the cosmos. Are the Pleiadians peaceful guides or just a beautiful myth? Stay tuned for the next part, where we'll uncover the mysterious greens. Don't miss it. Listing all the reported extraterrestrials, Part 6, the Greens. Have you heard of the mysterious Greens? Let's uncover their story. The Greens are described as small humanoid aliens with green-tinted skin. Unlike the Greys, they're often portrayed as peaceful observers, avoiding direct interaction with humans. Some believe their mission is to protect Earth's ecosystems, acting as quiet guardians of the natural world. Could their color symbolize their connection to life and nature? Do you think the Greens are protectors or watchers? Next, we'll dive into the enigmatic Syrians. Don't miss Part 7.
If y'all like that, I could try to get more of that, find more of these little series with the different aliens and stuff that so-called might exist. Just drop a comment below. And two, do y'all think them greens are real? Like them little baby green like aliens? Why aren't they part of the, who says the Earth don't have like an ecosystem? Like, let's say these fairies, these different beings, like one, we might not be able to see them, or two, one, if it's like you know how if y'all seen Jeepers Creepers, oh, he come every what they say 28 springs or something? What if it's a situation like that? What if they just currently hibernate? What if like back in the day we see all this like architecture and different things to where it's like, okay, what happened? Why do our stuff look so just watered down? Like the buildings, it don't even, not saying our buildings ain't advanced, but what happened? Why don't we have this? It's like two different artists, right? You look at this artist and then you look at this artist, it's like, the work not the same. And you think it's from one artist, which is us. But I just wonder what happened there. So do y'all think that could have been a result of a different species working with men and we drove them out, or they died off or left? What do y'all think occurred there? I'm just curious.
There are no aliens. There's just the civilizations that live beyond the ice wall.
The hell you talking about?
See, they want you to believe that there's these aliens.
Sorry about this one. This one real low. Like I say, it'd be very difficult to adjust that volume, so please bear with it. You might need to turn it up on your device.
Civilizations out in the depths of outer space that may or may not be coming to get you, but it's just a facade. The reality is that there are simply civilizations beyond what we can observe, beyond the ice wall, right here on planet Earth, but just in regions we have been kept from seeing, kept from knowing about. These civilizations beyond the ice wall, as you could imagine, have technology far beyond what we can fathom, and so when they fly above us in their inconceivably advanced ships, we kind of...
What's up? How you doing, brother or sister? Hopefully all is well.
Oh boy,
This
look
again.
who's here again. 1934 was at it once more.
I can't complain.
They followed me on Twitch, can you believe it? What a shock, I thought I'd seen it all before.
This funny, this my AI.
Follow Megan's on the screen.
I know. I haven't changed it because I find it kind of interesting. But thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. We got some, compilations of just interesting type videos, conspiracy theories, some facts, and different things. So if you like it, you can just sit back, comment, watch, whatever it may be. Hopefully it's something you like. And by the way, tomorrow we're going to be on that path of exile too. That's the goal. We're going to run through that. So I'm very excited about that. So I'm going to still keep the regular updates on these videos and being on Twitch, but I'm going to be streaming a lot of Path of Exile too.
Kind of misconstrue it with the idea of quote unquote aliens from space, when in reality it's just advanced civilizations from Earth. But of course, the oligarchs want you to be scared and have this fear of the great unknown, and so they peddle this narrative about outer space and alien encounter theories. The whole time all of these other advanced beings are right here on Earth.
This is what most Americans innocently put into their bodies these days, and most alarmingly, into the bodies of their children. And it's no coincidence that Americans die earlier than Canadians or Germans or Italians or Japanese or Koreans or Australians or most any other comparable country. And it wasn't always that way. Until the early 1990s, our life expectancy was the same or better than other developed countries. Then suddenly, more and more Americans began suffering from chronic diseases, from obesity, cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, Alzheimer's, heart disease, and all kinds of autoimmune diseases. Our maternal mortality rate soared to the highest of any developed country on Earth. Same with infant mortality. Like the frog in the slowly boiling water, we didn't really notice as we got sicker and sicker. We've grown now to accept chronic disease conditions as normal. But now, in 2024, we're finally waking up to this cataclysm, and we're asking ourselves, how in the world did this happen? A big part of it is our diet. Restaurants that serve contaminated food are fined or shut down. But when it's the government that approves the poisons in our food, a few people get very, very rich, and the toxins end up in every supermarket aisle. Let me show you what I mean. Doritos, Cheez-Its, Cap'n Crunch, gummy bears. Everyone knows that these are junk foods, so maybe you wouldn't be too surprised to see that the ingredients include a lot of poisons, including a harmful yellow dye called tetrazine, or yellow dye number 5.
I remember one of my favorite shows growing up. If y'all haven't seen Go watch it. It's called Fringe. Boy, I believe his name Walter. He was saying stuff, and as a kid, I didn't understand it. He said like, "Why is benzomethazine or something is in this? This is supposed to be food, not poison." And it was so wild. And I really think we need a change of this. Like, it's really hurting us. Who knows what it's doing to us psychologically? You know what I mean? Ah, bro, I feel like it was so many bangers in there that like I have to go back and rewatch it. And you might be able to correlate stuff. Like, I believe they let us know about this parallel universes and different stuff. If you could be wrong, but you never know. They be playing with us with a lot of stuff. Like, if you've seen Stephen King's The Mist, it's a lot of different things to where I believe that they're doing things that they just won't tell us until they can't hide it anymore. So yeah, bro, the X Files, like I love them to bring back the X Files, put Mulder as like the head of the FBI, have like Scully as like something to do with it, and then you can sit up there and bring like in a new group that's working under in the new thing, a new like type Fox Mulder, a new Scully, and they basically fill in the positions of certain people. Or Scully could be more like the deep throat or something. Pause. But I really love it. The African American hoax, yeah, brother. We could be the true Native American. I mean, not true. We could been the Native Americans too, the Black Indians, and it's a whole thing to where we're like Americans or something, and but they lied to us. The natives did a deal with the Europeans at the time. I don't know if it's true. I've read a lot of different things. I try not to get caught up on that because then I always ask myself this. Like when I hear certain rhetoric, I always be like, okay, if we don't fix it or move on, what we do next? You see what I'm saying? Like when, for example, when our white brothers and sisters be like, oh, we built this, and that, and they try to put their people above with that thinking, we ain't gonna have unity. We not gonna. What we doing? Is it all of us? Like you got. That's like me telling my son, oh, he want to date a Japanese woman. Don't get it wrong. I like him to have some melanin, but I'd rather him be with a person that love him, stick with him, and they grow together in life. Cause I ain't gonna always be here. Like I got a whole heart condition. I don't know what could happen. You see what I'm saying? So it's just one of them things to where to me, hey, we need the best of the best, the happiest of the happiest, the peaceful of the peaceful. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times these relationships and things, it just to where it's forced, it muddy down society, in my opinion. Just do what's natural and try to work with one another. I seen Hebrews to Negroes. I seen that. I don't know. Like I try to really stay away from certain things because like I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, I believe in a lot of things, but I don't know how true certain things are to a certain extent, right? And I just hope these individuals I meet when I move on to the next plane of existence, whatever that may be, they understand where I come from because we've been misled with a lot of different things. Oh yeah, you gotta let me know. I gotta put my Discord or follow me on Instagram and send me some stuff so I can stay updated because you only know what you know. Like my goal is I want to elevate because if I elevate, hopefully my kids' floor could be my ceiling could be their floor. You see what I'm saying? So they could know better. We all gotta know better to do better. And who knows, it might be a force out there in the universe that's more threatening than the things that's on this planet. But if we continue to it's just it get real sticky sometimes. But we about to get back into this video.
What you may not know is that this dye was originally made out of the sludge that's left over when you turn coal into coke for blast furnaces. It's called coal tar, and I've actually sued many big industries for legacy contamination of coal tar all around.
I'll be honest with you. I'm leaning towards that, but part of me said, well, they did say the earth is round, and it's just some things don't correlate and make sense. Like we are spinning faster than anything. It's just certain things that just to me, I'd be like, what? They have never truly proven gravity. It's a lot of different things that I just don't understand, and I would like to understand. Why if the earth not even flat or not even ball? It's like a donut. I don't know. Why if that's really hot? I don't know. But I tell you this, I want to find out. I hope I find out these things in my lifetime. Are aliens real? or I'm just open-minded and whatever. Like, I'm open-minded to the T. Why have black people was made by alien race? You know what I'm saying? Why if I'm not even, why if we wasn't made by, why if God is planetary, universal? We don't know. You see what I'm saying? I'm not ignorant enough. I don't care how much I believe in something, how something make me feel to where I'm gonna just roll with it. Because I could be being bamboozled. Why if the devil is really an entity that just made all this up to just F with us? I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just one of them guys, like I said, I think, and I try not to think too much, but I think I just got to, because this world is very interesting and dark, light. It's a lot of things going on. No, absolutely. For me, it is. I can't speak for nobody else, but I want to know the truth. If you don't want to know, I don't know what to tell you. You probably should just go to a different planet, because I think that's one of our problems in today's society. We try to say everybody's mindset could coexist. No, it can't. You might not. If you a hard worker, how can you get along with a lazy person? You see what I'm saying? So it's just one of them things to where you be like, man, I work my butt off, but he up here just sit on his butt. We get paid the same. It's just certain things that's going to cause conflicts. I bet you probably could teach me something. I've only been doing it for about since I've been at this for about 4 or 5 years, brother, on the journey. I'm searching if I could get, like, my goal is really, like, I want to get to a point, like, I build something, like, some Alex Jones type stuff, like, and I'm just talking about this stuff because I really find it interesting. And then on top of that, I want to go on the ground and actually find these things, see, I really hope, regardless of it, whatever your background is, we need Trump to put a guy in that's going to question this stuff, find out the truth, not just about health. We need to know what's going on. If you don't want to know if aliens hurt your relationship with God, that you probably didn't have a great enough relationship in the first place. Because regardless, to me, I'm just saying, to me, if I find out that, I'm gonna still believe in something. Something made us. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna believe in something, and I should act accordingly. You know what I'm saying? I think we need the truth. That's why I think we so messed up now. All of us is lied to. That's why you think sometimes the African American people, the copper people, the whatever you want to call them, a lot of us think we're more than what we are. Now that could be true and that could be false. We could be actually some, but how would you really know? You know what I'm saying? One thing that be sometimes frustrating though, like if you really look at it, and I don't know, because like I seen in Mexico, them Ozark statues that nobody talk about, that look very interesting. But literally, like, not trying to be on no, like, discriminating or racist stuff, but bro, I feel like we're the only people that haven't built something. Like, really, really think about it. Even you could say the Great Wall of China was built by what's it called? Tamaria, right? That could have been built, or I think that's it, or what is it? Tataria? Whatever, the ones that was up there in Russia, so called. I just be wondering things, man. It's so wild out here. I be just wondering what's going on, which way, what direction, where's the truth. It's so much, and I believe a lot of it is misinformation. I would love that, but you know how people get. And think about it. If you black, we always say something. So what is the truth? I just want to know the truth. That's all. Look, bro, if they said America was originally found by black people and we're with Egypt, the Grand Canyon had Egypt, whatever the case may be, I don't want white people to leave. Shit, you're here. Let's just coexist. Stop looking at everybody like, hey, fuck it. You know what I mean? They built the pyramids. We all have, whatever it may be. We just got to stop with the weird stuff. Like, I don't know.
Country, because it's so toxic and it's so harmful to the environment and human beings. A century ago, it was just an obnoxious industrial byproduct that everybody was trying to figure out ways to get rid of. One of the ways that they did that was by paving.
Yeah, they said that Louisiana Purchase, man. It was a lot of things I look at that can we figure out if it's true or not? Bro, I don't want reparations. Fuck it. Like, don't get it wrong. If a motherfucker gonna give me money, I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna lie. But it ain't gonna make or break me, bro. I'm gonna still work my butt off. I'm gonna still do what I try to do. Like, it's things I'm gonna still be a good person, bro. It's just, I don't care, bro. I'm not gonna, bro. It's just, I don't know. I think we just gotta be better. Check out UBT. I got you. I'm gonna lock in with them. I got you. I appreciate the knowledge, King. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, young one. You know, whatever it may be, enlightened one. You know, we all got different titles we may wear. You just got to figure out who you are.
Roads. But then a British chemist figured out that the coal tar could be used to derive fabric dye. And if fabric dye, why not food? Food manufacturers began using it to cover up the discoloration of low-quality foods that they wanted to pass off on unsuspecting customers. They didn't know back then that this yellow dye, tartrazine, causes tumors, asthma, developmental delays.
They dip in chicken and cheese? That's crazy. Bro, I don't care. Like, I honestly, like, would I feel more important? Hell yeah, I feel better. Like, in my mind, bro, it's either two things that I could be. Because I remember my dad said that my grandmother and us, like, she was Cherokee or Indian. And my on my mom's side, my grandma said that her mother was like Blackfoot or Blackfeet, whatever it is. No disrespect. I try not to look too much in certain things because then you know how it be. Don't get it wrong. I'm gonna keep it to myself. But if you say something out loud, especially as an African American, oh, it's you. That ain't you. Y'all. I just don't want the problems, bro. I ain't got time to argue that energy. You know. You see what I'm saying? So it's just one of them things. Like, I don't know. I really don't be knowing, nor do I care. Like, it's just one of them things. Whatever the truth is, let's know about it. Let's change the history. Stop talking. Like, even when it comes to slavery, bro. Look, white people currently, they ain't you. It's just what happened. We gotta like deliver it right. We don't deliver it right. Like we look like that. That's them right there. Okay. Like shit. Your ancestors could have owned people. I believe at all time. I'm not trying to make it justifiable, but it was at one point in time somebody probably owned something. It is what it is, man. Like it's messed up, but we got to just learn and move forward. That's all we can do. Yeah, I don't try to dwell on too much things, man. Do I think people is busy? Do I think it's some people out here get busy with me because of my pigmentation? For sure. But until I see something, I'm going to move accordingly. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm really, like I say, I tell everybody this. Find you a woman, build a family, stay out the way. Now, if you want friends, take that risk on yourself. But I'd rather just have build, a nice structure. I think we need to build up good people from the inside and branch out.
Neurological damage, ADD, ADHD, hormone disruption, gene damage, anxiety, depression, intestinal injuries. Well, we know it now. We've known this for decades. That's why tartrazine is heavily restricted in other countries. In some countries, foods with tartrazine.
Bro, that's why I think I'm okay now. Like, I think things work out for me because, like, my mindset right, my energy right, and I think just I'm a good person, right? I'll give you a little rep. I lost, like I say, my parents at a young age. My last parent lost, I was at 11, died 3 days after my birthday on the 11th, which is crazy. But I've been abused, been in foster care, been in situations, especially in my teenage years, where I was with people that didn't care about my best interest, but I don't let it hold me back. Do I think I was hindered a lot? Hell yeah. But I don't let it make no excuse. I say, well, at the 18, everything been on me. You know what I'm saying? I've been grown. It is what it is. Did I have the tools that I should have? I did have them, but I had to learn them. It is what it is. I learned a lot from other people, Life is what it is, man. I just look at it like this, and there's no disrespect to God and biblical stuff. Like, we know them through stories, right? My descendants gonna know me through videos, photos. They gonna hear my voice. It's gonna be a better way to relate. And so, no matter what I achieve, I want to leave something to where you could be like, whoever it may be, they be like, you know what, I'm going through what he going through, and I relate. And it might elevate you. Yeah, you gotta learn. It's trial and error, and I'm sorry she had to go through that. Nobody had to go through that. Like, hopefully I had some rich white people back in the day wanting to adopt me at 11. I just hope they would have treated me right, because sometimes I wonder about that situation. I just wish I could have seen how that would have played out for my life, because the circumstance I went into was just. I appreciate what happened with my aunt, but I wish I had better. I tell you that. I ain't get the love. I tell you this, like personally, I was talking to my old lady about it. Like, bro, I'm 25, and I'll be honest. If I had to just say, if I just say from 11 to 25 in my whole life, like a hug, like just a hug, I probably had a hug or being told I love you probably from less than like 3 to 4 people. And mind you, I wasn't seeing them 3 to 4 people like that. So it went numerous years without, oh, I love you, congratulations, you could do great. I didn't get none of that. You know what I mean? I had to learn to build myself up. So that's why I want the world to be better, because no kid should have to endure that. Because if no disrespect, and I know I got this part of myself that's very dark, but I've got it under control. And I always wonder, see, I hate to even compare this, but I see how like, no, I appreciate that, man. That's what people say, but I see how like, the dude that was in there that did some dumb stuff in Germany back in the day that started them W's. You know what I mean? I could see how he could do. He probably, bro, everybody different. That's why you gotta treat people with love in the beginning, because the wrong thing could turn somebody super sour and they could do some crazy stuff to the world. That don't make it no excuse, but let's we know this, hurt people hurt people. So I don't know. I just want to be a reflection, man. Like they always talk about African Americans is ignorant, stupid. I know, not me. Yeah, put me on the thing. I think I'm respectable, knowledgeable, try to learn, try to be better than I was yesterday. That's all I can do. But I see what they want. I ain't know that. I don't know, bro. I hope, but the question is, who's running it? Is this who's running this thing then? If that's what's going on, what is the angle and who's running it?
Have a warning label that it may cause ADHD in children. Today it's made from petroleum, not coal tar. Either way, it's crazy to add this to your kid's favorite foods. It doesn't even change the flavor. This yellow dye isn't just in junk food. It's in the foods that we consider healthy.
My buddy sent me something about that. He said that's basically that's BS. It's owned by basically them rich families. They just print. I don't know. Tell me if what I'm saying right or wrong. Let me know.
It's in everyday kid snacks like popcorn, mac and cheese, fruit snacks. It's in sports drinks like Gatorade and so-called vitamin water. It's even added to chicken broth, to corn, to pickles, to mustard, and to yogurt. And so, of course, our kids get sick. And we lovingly...
I don't know if you was here for earlier, like I was saying, we will have to have a great reset. The people that's been in these families accumulating these power for generations, they not giving it up. They not giving it up. They do not. That's like I hate to say it, but I'm just saying I could be wrong. To those that don't fit this hat, don't wear it. You see what I'm saying? Don't wear it. If that's not you, don't say nothing. But like with white people in America, right? A lot of them, we built this country with that mindset. Why would I want to see somebody else in a position but not me? So I just don't think certain things gonna happen. You see what I'm saying? We should pick the right position for a job, not based off what you look like. I don't know, man. I try to just be very careful what I say because sometimes interpretation, different things. You don't elaborate enough, clips. Yeah, but what you think about Trump and them? Do you think Trump is going to be the light to push back the darkness, or he just part of the darkness that's using a little bedtime light? Nah, bro, they do what they do. I just hope they don't clone me or nothing. Oh, damn. I had a fear of that. That's why in part of my hearts of hearts, bro, I really think that but no matter what you do, it don't really do. It's a game, and you think you playing, but you're not really playing. They playing you.
Feed them chewable vitamins, which have, surprise, tartrazine. And so the cycle continues until the coughs and asthma kick in, at which point you go to pick up some cough syrup. And yeah, you guessed it, tartrazine. I've been picking on tartrazine today, but that's just one of at least 100 chemical poisons that our health agencies
are we ruled by man or something else?
Allow into our children's food. I can make a video just like this to talk about Red 40, BHA, BHD, potassium bromate,
That's it.
Chemical after chemical, and on and on and on. If just one of them can cause all of these problems, imagine what they're doing in combination. That has never been studied. If we took all of these chemicals out, our nation would get healthier immediately. We'd have fewer sick days. We'd have better focus. We'd have less anxiety. Our kids would learn more easily. We'd lose weight. We'd have more energy. We'd have fewer tumors and longer lives. It's not all dark. Over the past 6 enough is enough. President Trump and I are going to stop.
Drop the knowledge. We reading and listening, brother. We reading and listening.
The mass poisoning of American children. Together, we're going to make America healthy again.
Sure. Hopefully, but
Another beautiful invention of the golden age of electricity shelved from us. The railplane of the 1930s. As impressive outside as it is luxurious inside.
Probably got something like that on the ground.
Airplane train of the past that was capable of reaching speeds of well over 100 miles per hour. It's amazing how much innovation came out of the past. How many different railroads and how many different futures for the railroads and many other forms of transportation they envisioned. Yet, as you know, we're stuck with the same old that we seem to have had for the last 100 years. The technologies of the old world was not about profits and control, unlike the monopolies we have controlling us today. And that is why you see so much of this great tech seemingly lost to us. Question everything, friends.
Do you know that there's one U.S. company that the United States government cannot work
What's your knowledge on 0 point energy?
with? It's a company called Pinkerton, and it's even been codified in law for over 100 years that people that work for them cannot work for the U.S. government. An individual employed by the Pinkerton Detective Agency or similar organization may not be employed by the government of the United States or the government of the District of Columbia. And you're probably asking why. The Pinkerton is a detective agency that was founded by this man, Alan Pinkerton.
I ain't gonna fake the Pinkertons. I've been hearing about them in all types of games, especially the Old West. Is that real people? Is that like one of them rich families? I gotta look into them. On the Ether. Yeah, that's why Ethereum. I don't know. Not giving any financial advice. I'm just saying the correlation.
Alan was an interesting guy. He was an abolitionist, he was a detective, and he even stopped a failed assassination attempt on Abraham Lincoln.
Question: is Abraham Lincoln, was he really black or was he really white? Because I've seen some things that say he was really a black man or he was biracial or something. Thoughts on that? I don't know. And they say a lot of the pictures we see of Abe is altered. I don't know. He is a black dude. All right.
During the Civil War. Too bad he wasn't at the Ford Theater, though. But they were maybe a little bit too good. Rich people like Andrew Carnegie started
I heard
them.
that too. I heard Babe Ruth. I don't know, but I try not, not trying to be on those stuff. Our brothers and sisters, some of them would get mad over that. And I can understand why, especially if you've been lied to. Jefferson Davis. I gotta look into him. I might know the face and the person, but I might not be, up to date on the name correlation.
As private security to bust unions. They didn't do it psychologically, they didn't do it monetarily, they did it with their fist. One specific instance was the Homestead Steel strike. People at Carnegie Steel decided to strike. Carnegie Steel called in the Pinkertons to stop them from striking. The fight between the Pinkertons and the strikers was so bad that the state had to call in the National Guard to stop them. What happened was so bad that the United States government wanted nothing to do with them and passed a law in 1893 saying that we want nothing to do with them and they can't have anything to do with us. And the company is still around today, and they are a consulting and investigative service.
They're saying the world's bigger than we know, that they changed.
Pinkertons just give me this secret organization that just do what they do. The government know about them. They like rival. I believe it's like these organizations that rival other organizations. Do you think the main organization that run everything has a opposition? Man, bro, I hope it's not actors. So this is basically the Truman Show. If this is the Truman Show, then who am I? What am I? So if I get to that, they're going to try to make me part of the Truman Show?
How we think. Richard Constantine.
He knew that with this model, reinforced by working geometrical logic, he could deceive the minds of millions into believing that this small section of the world.
I think I know you're talking about
the entirety of a world in and of itself.
Even if that were true.
No, you good.
How the hell would they be able to sell such a lie?
Thought you'd never ask. See, Richard was maniacal. His family loved his idea of entrapping the soon-to-be population, but they too asked him the obvious question, how can we be sure they'll obey? At which point, with an emotionless expression, Richard said to them, give me absolute control over what's taught to the minds within these walls, and they will look to the heavens before they consider what's behind the ice.
Good God.
See, Richard was the godfather of psychological manipulation. Spent the following years creating the blueprint for a new reality, our reality. The great curriculum of confinement, or what we know as geography, Newton's laws of physics, etc. A structured narrative of logical principles that would be taught to every generation within the wall. But he knew that wasn't enough. He knew how the subconscious mind worked.
I really believe Biden isn't what we think he is either, because that earlobe. Tell me how earlobe go from a loose earlobe to a connecting earlobe to the you know. So I don't know how that earlobe joint. Do your research on that. Do your research on that. I do not know how that even transpired. That's kind of very interesting and strange to me.
As well, so he created sigils of circularity, symbols of a sphere. Globes, circular maps, even our circular language of time itself, were embedded in every cultural artifact. He knew not all humans were brainiacs. Some were more spiritual, mythically intuitive. So he created, naturally, deterring layers of awareness through monstrous mythological beasts that scoured the oceanic abyss, instilling innate fear into the naive early generations.
Oh, come on. I mean, we don't believe that type of stuff.
Your ancestors sure did. And I don't know about you, but I'm not taking a boat into the middle of the Pacific anytime soon.
Fair enough.
But Richard's greatest deception, the cosmic paradox. He introduced the concept of an endless void, a vacuum of dark space beyond this globe.
ASA veneers.
You see, when he told his family he'd have us looking to the heavens instead of beyond the ice wall, he was being literal. Think about it. When we converse, when we hypothesize of what's beyond our observable reality, the conversation pivots into outer space. You'd never for a second consider there's more to the world beneath your feet.
What are you getting at?
Richard was a genius. His theories worked. He created geometrically accurate models of a hypothetical universe. It's just not ours. I'm going to go ahead and say this is a joke for entertainment purposes only.
Watch closely. This footage was captured.
I believe it's AI, but who knows? This could be possible. I don't know. It could go to the lands below. If it's as above, as below type scenario, I don't know.
By a photographer traveling in China. In the video, you can see an old man standing next to a large tree. Suddenly, a black hole appears in the tree, and the man vanishes, just like magic. The magic he used is known as wood escape technique in Chinese.
And I know this might sound crazy. this might sound crazy. Do you think it's like for example, magic and this stuff around us, but for some reason we might not be able to be affected by it? And do you think like if something nuclear happened, it could open that door? Or I don't know. I just feel like is magic real? Because I remember seeing one of my favorite shows, Lovecraft Country. Watch that. I dislike how the racial stuff go on, but I get it. I love it. Great story, but it's just division that causes problems. They might be. Hey, bro, I was thinking the other day, and tell me if I'm wrong. I was like, bro, you know the only people I don't think that got nukes is black people. Am I wrong about that? I was thinking that the other day, like, and we might be the only group that don't have so-called these nukes. This was like, they, oh my god, bruh. I be thinking too much, bruh. It ain't. I'll just be like,
Taoist culture. It is one of the 5 element escape techniques, utilizing the wood element to quickly hide or transfer. By touching a tree, the practitioner can instantly escape and reappear near another tree within 300 meters. They can also remain hidden within the tree for a long time. However, if the tree they are hiding in is cut down or burned, the practitioner will also die. Additionally, practitioners need to coexist with trees for a long time to enhance their usage frequency and range.
Time to get back to recreating the firmament.
so if planets are not what we think, is like space water? And if it is water, is it other planets like ours? You see what I'm saying? Or are we just the main attraction? It's like this big landscape that all these beings just happen to inhabit, and the universe is just is dead. I don't know.
Time to add some electricity. Wired in series. Here's the contraption. Let's see what it does. Sea salt for conductivity.
I don't know how true it is, but they say in prior history that well, the past, that especially I think it's the Egyptians, they said 2 things were true. The moon wasn't always there, and the color blue didn't always exist. I don't know if that's true. Did the color blue we're mutated to see it, or was it put in? And they, one of my dudes that was in a well, I love story. I had some dumb stuff. I had to do community service back in the day. One of the old dudes I met, he said he was in the black ops and everything. He was talking to me. He said the reason we don't go back to the moon because they found the base up there that scared everybody. And they said something been watching us and monitoring us for a long time. I don't know how that true is that. I thought he was going in the microwave. I'm so confused. We gotta get back to that video. I gotta find part 2. Okay. I gotta figure that out. I don't know then. I ain't going I can't even I gotta even understand what that mean, process that. Discern what I see, huh? Bye. That look like a rip in reality. Like, hello, what was going on down there?
Lurking in our upper atmosphere. And yeah, we're back on the cryptid iceberg today. So there's this theory that some UFOs that people report might actually be these massive creatures that live way up in the sky. They're known as atmospheric beasts. They seem to defy all rules.
I just want to grow, be better. I like well, I be into everything. I study the occult. I study anything that I find interesting. You know, because for me, it's not that I'm in any dark stuff. I'm a light being. But I think That is, I think I don't know, that's a whole nother conversation. But at the end of the day, I just try to know, because I'll be like, why if I'm in a situation where I run into a demon or some wild stuff, or what we think a demon is, and I got some common knowledge, boy, I'd rather know something than not know nothing.
Of understood biology, like being able to fly or levitate without the use of wings. Witnesses have described them as being weightless, translucent creatures that can also pulse with this bioluminescence. And they're often seen in the form of jellyfish or sky serpents. But what are they? Well, Ivan T. Sanderson wrote a whole book about how many of the UFOs that people see are actually these low-density organisms that are native to Earth's upper atmosphere. Interestingly, life has found a way up there, albeit in the form of bacteria, but surely there would be remains of these things falling out of the sky if they died, so case closed, right? Well, not so fast. Have you heard of star jelly? It's this gelatinous substance that shows up all over people's lawns and in nature, seemingly falling from the sky, and then it evaporates within hours. Many think that this material, some of it at least, could be from the remains of these atmospheres.
Remember that movie with Key and what is it, Key and Peele, or whatever the guys is? But basically he made the movie called, I believe it's called what is it called? Like, is it Up? I don't know, but it's that UFO movie. And remember, the UFO was like a living organism. Like, it was, that's really, like, I always wonder, like, we got all these organisms around. Who says it ain't something up on another layer? Because I've seen some videos, some strange things that I couldn't understand. I'm like, is that real? Like, I don't even know anymore. They put so much, this AI stuff is so crazy. You don't even know what I might not even be real. How crazy some of this stuff is.
Beasts. But what do you think? Make sure to leave a comment and let me know what you want to hear about next.
That's fake though.
Good evening, everyone. I want to show you something really weird. See these orange lights? Every time I walk past them, even as a kid, they would blow out and just turn off. So this one up here goes off all the time. So let's see what happens. Every time I walk past it every night, it just goes out. I don't know how this happens, but let's see if it goes out.
Are NPCs real? That's a real thing. Some people just not, they like real, but they not soul beings. Let's just say that. Do you agree?
There, gone. That is weird. But every night, without a doubt, and then it'll come back on. But yeah, does this happen to anybody else?
Yo, it's like that thing they showed on
Oh, whoa.
Okay, I gotta look into that.
It's like that Tic Tac from Rogan.
What was that?
What if that's a creature the whole time and we think them ships?
This looks like a UFO.
The government took these boys and these really just creatures, and they reverse engineering them and mixing the organic compounds with the technology and everything. Like, that'd be crazy. I'm just saying theory. So is it like eroding the soul?
Yeah, I guess.
I can see that makes sense.
What?
Hive mind workers, no thinkers, right?
Holy hey, you guys see the light on the bottom? Yeah. That's crazy, bro.
What do you think about this idea of using special forces guys to fight the cartels? This is
first and foremost, like, if you were like, yo, we're gonna wipe out a cartel tonight, I'd have been like, I'll load my frags extra careful.
All right,
like,
brother.
let's go, right? But the reality is like, I know all my buddies are like, yeah, we'll fuck them up in a night. We'll fucking, fucking let's back up a fucking second here. The cartels have fucking men. They own the ground. They have fucking technicals. They have machine guns. They have fucking everything an army has, right? And they've had decades to train waiting for this. Number two. And number three, our government's fucking compromised. So if you think they ain't going to know you're coming, you know what I mean? I think you're fucking high.
Jesus Christ, that's a terrifying
So-
thought.
so-
The government's so compromised, the cartel's going to get the word out before.
Are referring to New York City. As far as the size of them, multiple eyewitnesses have reported, and obviously we've seen the video here, you've just pointed it out, the size of these, it's not quite clear to law enforcement that they are car-sized at this point, but they do not appear to be kind of the homemade type that would fit on a desk. Whether or not they're the kind that would fit in a garage, well, that's going to be a bigger question. They really want the evidence here, Hallie. They want to be able to get their hands on this or know where they are flying from, in an effort to try to figure out, okay, who's doing this, what are they about, and what are they specifically looking at? But officials in New Jersey stress, look, there's no indication at this point that they're a threat to the public. We'd certainly like to know what's going on, and they are encouraging people to call these in.
Why would the FBI be getting involved in this here?
A great question. So that,
And guys, it seemed like over the last, since I've been alive, like when my father was alive back in 2009, this was even like, I didn't, like, you see it now. Maybe it's because of social media. Maybe they always been there. We just didn't have the technology to capture it. So
airspace is the FBI's domain. So when the FAA sees something that is a potential violation of federal law as it pertains to the skies, that's a time where the FBI would get involved. And certainly if we're talking about multiple counties or we're talking about something that...
So you may have heard a Rothschild passed away in a fire, but did you know he passed away on the 333rd day, and there's 33 days remaining in the year? It gets crazier. It also took firefighters 33 minutes to extinguish the fire. Do with that what you will.
This guy was involved in some pretty serious scandals, and if you don't know who this is Brian Thompson. He was the CEO of United Healthcare, and he was just brutally murdered outside the Hilton Hotel in New York City in what looked like to be a targeted attack. First of all, he was under investigation by the Department of Justice for alleged insider trading. He sold about $15 million in stock before a federal antitrust investigation into the company. So basically, before bad news, he sold a bunch of shares that caused the stock to drop. This company also had a very controversial use of AI. The company relied on a tool called NH Predict, which had a shocking 90% error rate. This AI allegedly overruled doctors' decisions and denied essential care to elderly patients, forcing some out of rehab early and others to miss treatments altogether. Why would they do this? Well, basically a lawsuit claims it was all about saving money, betting most patients wouldn't fight against the denials. And if that wasn't enough, United Healthcare faced massive ransomware attack, exposing the private data of millions of Americans. They reportedly paid $22 million to resolve this issue.
You know what this is and what this represents? Pause the video and tell me what this is in the comments below.
Emerald tablet?
If you said that this behind me is called the Emerald Tablets, then you would be correct. But what you have to understand is that one Emerald Tablet out there in the world is real and one is fake. They have been lying to you about the Emerald Tablets. If you cannot handle logic, reasoning, evidence, or if you are highly susceptible to cognitive dissonance, and if you don't have a certain color of conscience, this is not the video for you. You have 3 seconds to scroll. 1, 2, 3. Before I break down this lie, you have to understand a story about a man who claimed to speak to the king of Atlantis. In the early 20th century, there was a boy named Claude D. Dodgen, born in a modest family in the statehood of Oklahoma. From a young age, Claude experienced very strange things. Entities from other realms visited him. Masters spoken to him in his bedroom. Like many working class families, he wouldn't have an education above the elementary level, but he felt from these experiences with these entities that he was destined for spiritual greatness. He changes his name to what many of you would know him by, which is Maurice Doro, a self-proclaimed mystic and spiritual leader. At the end of his life, he was dismissed by many as a fraud, especially by those in the academic and scholarly circles. But he was also still loved by many, and his organizations continued along with his teachings. critique was based around his claims of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. This is one of the greatest lies that I have come across within the spiritual and conscious network online. And I will show you the difference between this fraudulent Emerald Tablet and the Emerald Tablet that is very real and contains very deep knowledge. First, let me walk you through why this tablet that he claims to have translated is a fake. Many of you should brace yourselves for severe cognitive dissonance and the inability to accept evidence in reason and logic and awareness. Normally, ancient texts have obvious evidence that shows their validity. So either you will find the text itself, like the Dead Sea Scrolls, or other ancient cultures of that time will make constant reference to that text. Maurice Doreau did not provide an Emerald Tablet of Thoth, ever. So to ask a scholar, someone who's serious about information, just to believe it, but faith is absurd. 2. Actual, genuine artifacts like this, ancient text, normally have the linguistic or the stylistic traditions of its time. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth instead have the linguistic and stylistic and cultural habits of our time. And finally, if you, in any empirical field, if you discover something extraordinary, then you have to let people study it independently. Again, when the Dead Sea Scrolls came out, people had to study it independently in order to verify the claims that the people who discovered it made. In fear of this, for a while, did keep the scrolls from being shown to other experts. But eventually, scholarship won and people got to study it. Because there is no Emerald Tablet of Thoth, no one has studied it independently except for him.
It's Thoth, not thought. So I know that the captions are saying that, but it's Thoth.
As he claims. Meaning we have no way to verify if what he said is true. We just have to believe him. Here is a picture of the real Emerald Tablet, or the Hermetic Emerald Tablet. I recommend you go read it. It's where a lot of people get the notion of so below. Not saying that no other culture talk about it, but most people are referencing this text. It's very deep and very philosophical. It's a really short read, like a super short read. It's on one tablet. I would recommend you go read it. This tablet is recognized with Hermetic traditions and also alchemy tradition. It has evidence and references to it throughout the medieval times and the Renaissance of alchemy text. And what is famous for, So Above, So Below, is very much a part of the culture of the time in which it was written. It's important to dispel a lot of this stuff because it's here because there is an unconscious they trying to keep you trapped in the matrix. What's the matrix? A medium or structure which you develop. You have good matrix and bad matrices. You live in civilization. It's a bad matrix. Now, many of you are angry and commented below because you're going through cognitive dissonance. But those of you who want to escape this matrix no longer want to work a 9 to 5, no longer want to be paying these bills, want to be free and independent while still having technology that's good for the earth, there's a system. You can do it on your own, and it's called FAMS. Food, Forest, Foraging, Hunting, Anti-Fragile Modern Society. There's a book that explains exactly how to create this through 3 stories. I recommend that you go read it ASAP. The audio version is free and it's in the link at the top of my page. I love you all. Peace. Be kind down in the comments. Ignore the bots.
That'd be crazy running out there.
1893, a man in the United States was buried in a specially prepared grave. Above the grave, there was a transparent glass panel. For many years, people could look through this glass window and see his face. He chose to be buried this way because during his life, he had a persistent fear of being mistakenly declared dead. Although such a mistake seems impossible by today's standards, before the advent of modern medicine, this fear was not entirely unreasonable. Additionally,
that's complicated. That's complicated. It's basically, I think, what they say. I've seen some stuff on it. It's basically a form of like corporate ownership or something. Like it's not what people think it is.
As a precaution, he held a rope in his hand. which extended from inside the grave to a bell outside. If he were mistakenly buried alive, he could pull the rope to ring the bell and alert the outside world for help. However, as time passed, dust and moisture covered the glass, eventually obscuring him and his fears, leaving them buried in the sands of history. If it were you, would you want to be buried in this way? Finally know what they're hiding at the Denver airport, and it is terrifying. The largest airport in the United States went over $2 billion of its initial budget and took over 2 years longer to construct. People began wondering as to why it cost so much and took so long. Theories proposed that there is a secret base beneath the airport for the most wealthy and elite. However, this could never get proven. That was until just a few days ago when a group of explorers came across something impossible. As they were using a
But do I think the Denver airport got something? Yes, but I don't think this is a real story.
ground-penetrating radar in one of the bathrooms, the device picked up on a secret tunnel in one of the stalls that had a large stairway leading down beneath the airport. As the group made their way down, they were in complete disbelief, as nothing like this has ever been found. At the end of it, they were standing in front of an enormous underground military base, which was nothing like ever seen before. There were advanced...
I always wonder sometimes too, like maybe they did and I just don't remember, but why haven't, like I feel like I would have been one of the perfect prime candidates for things. I mean, yeah, I had abuse, but really once, especially after my father, you know, he was sick. It was so you could have just snatched me up and it would have been difficult for anybody to do anything. Sometimes I'd be wondering certain things. But then again, how would I know? I could have been influenced by something, but I just don't remember.
Vehicles, weapons, and equipment, all directly beneath the Denver airport. This is when they saw a group of non-human-looking creatures approaching their location, so they quickly got some pictures and got out of there. If you want to see the pictures, comment view images.
Hear a crazy coincidence pertaining to history?
Please.
I saw this from a guy on TikTok. His name
Child
is Nate
Protective
Hale.
Services.
December 5th,
Yeah.
1664,
A long lost friend of
ship
mine.
sank off the coast of Wales in the Menai Strait. 81 people on the ship died, and there was only one survivor.
What's
His name
beneath?
was Hugh Williams. December 5th.
Same year?
1785. A ship sunk in the exact same spot. Everyone died except one person. Can you guess his name?
Hugh Williams.
Hugh Williams.
What?
August 5th, 1821. A ship sank in this same spot. One survivor.
No way.
Hugh Williams.
Thrice times?
No. August 19th, 1889. A coal barge, same spot. Except this time there was two survivors. Can you guess their name?
Huey and Hugh.
Both named Hugh Williams.
How is that possible?
It seems like this guy's like a time traveler.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta fix this. Like, I have
And
to.
he keeps
I have
going
to
back.
break the paradigm.
Let's take a look. This book right here is super cool. It's like you're actually walking into an herbal apothecary, and you can just choose what you want right off the shelf. Page 211. And here we go. Nature's amoxicillin. It's going to give you all the ingredients you need, as well as step-by-step instructions and dosage. I can't tell you how important this book is. You're going to get 250 recipes that your grandmother probably used back in the day. It's called The Forgotten Home Apothecary, 250 powerful remedies at your fingertips, and I think this is a great resource to have in your home. I'll drop it in the shopping cart below for you to pick up.
This is why they keep trying.
I pray the universe, God, whoever, let me be the seeker, and I can seek it, and I can see everything. I want to see everything. I don't care. I'm the type of dude, bro. You gotta think about it. I risk it all. I'm gonna get on Asawaka, the shrooms, everything. I just want to know. I gotta know. I'm not Aaron Rodgers.
In that author's books, this is 100% real. Let me show you. Yep, right here. Page 63, lemon and ginger nausea lollipops. It's going to give you all of the ingredients you need to make them and step-by-step instructions on exactly how to make them with dosage. The book is called The Forgotten Home Apothecary, and it has over 250 remedies in here. And my favorite part is definitely the table of contents. It looks just like an old ancient apothecary where you can just go and grab something right off the shelf. However, they are currently trying to ban this book off of TikTok because, as you can see, there are some...
You know what made me question it? That steel beam, they say the flames were even hot enough. That's the one that got me. No, I don't know if it was a money. I don't know. Let me ask you this. What about Hillary emails with Gigamesh? What is that about? What is about Gigamesh? What is that about?
Crazy things in here. So if you do want to grab yourself a copy of one of these before they do get banned, I'll leave a little link somewhere right down here, and they still are on sale.
Captured on camera for the first time, the hidden depths of the ocean have revealed life forms unlike anything seen
With that
before.
book?
Strange, intricate ecosystems flourish in complete darkness, thriving in conditions that seem inhospitable to everything we know. These discoveries challenge our understanding of biology and evolution, offering a glimpse into a world that has existed apart from ours for millions of years. What else lies in wait, untouched and unseen, beneath the surface of the last great frontier?
Yeah, wake up as many as we can. That's the goal. Like we in the Matrix, unplugging MFers. Unplugging MFers. Like, hey, wake up. Slap them. Ah. Even though I believe these are all fake, they interesting.
Met Dr. Henri Coanda. Now, Dr. Coanda is known as the father of fluid dynamics. He had over 500 patents on the way fluids flow around objects. He had flying saucers, literally things that levitate by using air flowing over a surface, but with no moving parts.
So these two guys from a Pentagon think tank think they may have worked out the fountain of youth, where it is, what it is, and how it works. When you look into the science behind it, you can see that this is most definitely something.
He built the world's first snowmaking machine that turns liquid water into ice by passing it through a special nozzle that he developed. And so he was 80 when I met him. 17, we were working at a Pentagon think tank. He had a birthday party. And a few days later, he called me into his office and he said, "Patrick, I want to share something with you that I've worked on all my life for 60 years. I will not complete this project in my lifetime, but I feel that you will. So I'm going to give you my lifelong project, which has to do with finding the fountain of youth." Because he said there really is a fountain of youth. He said water is the most important nutrient that we put into our bodies, and it's the most ignored. And he said that water all over the world is different. Best water in the entire world was found in a place called Hunza up north of Pakistan. And he said that the properties of Hunza water, which had what he called anomalous property, were such that if I could build a machine to duplicate those properties,
anything that you're willing to share,
profoundly affect the entire world. And so he gave me his research, and I began my lifelong quest for Hunza water, for the properties of it. And so I began researching water, and I tested every kind of energy field that you can imagine, trying to change ordinary water.
I'm not best with names. I don't know. I can't answer that. Might not. I got to see what it's about and what he looked like.
Into Hunza water. And finally, after almost 30 years, discovered the real secret of Hunza water was a special mineral.
I know him. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I know him. Yep.
In the water, a special kind of colloidal mineral, which gives it all of these anomalous properties. Finally duplicated it after a period of a few years, and came up with a product called Crystal Energy, which was the very first development in this field. And from that developed a dry powder mineral called microcluster powder. And this is all nanotechnology. These minerals are very, very small. They're perfectly spherical. They're about 5 nanometers in diameter. Very unusual properties. One of these properties is they can coat nutrients and protect the nutrients from oxidative damage. They can help carry nutrients into the body so that the body can absorb more of those nutrients. I was reading some work by Albert St. Georgi, a Nobel Prize winner in chemistry for metabolism for metabolic research, who he also discovered vitamin C. That's also his claim to fame. All the food we eat ultimately breaks down into hydrogen, which is burned by oxygen, creating energy that powers our body. And the end result of that long biochemical process is the production of water and the release of energy, which runs our bodies. And the second thing that he said is that no electron moves in the body unless it's coupled to hydrogen. In college chemistry textbooks, it shows electrons somehow mysteriously entering into a chain of chemical reactions in the body without explaining where the electrons come from or how they're transported. When Georgi said that electrons cannot be transported without hydrogen, I became very excited. And the other thing that he said is that all living systems store hydrogen in their tissues in such a way that it doesn't require enzyme action to release the hydrogen. The other thing is that he gave a chemical reaction that was done in the early...
See, I don't know. You know, with anything, I just got to do the experiment, see for myself, ask the right questions, and maybe I understand. Because you never know who is bought. If it's a psyop, you really just don't know.
1920s and published in medical journals for measuring hydrogen in biological tissues. And when I looked at the chemical reaction, I realized that there was only one form of hydrogen that would react that way as an indicator, and that was H- or negatively ionized hydrogen. That's hydrogen with an extra electron. I then developed a number of instruments for measuring hydrogen, something called photon detachment. I used the chemical test that Albert St. Georgi used, and also redox meter, similar to what you've seen so far, that meter that Dr. Higgins has shown you. And eventually found that all living fluids of every living organism, every fluid from any living organism is loaded with negatively ionized hydrogen. For example, if you take an organic orange that's fresh off the tree and you measure the hydrogen, it has a tremendous amount of negative ionized hydrogen. But if you let the orange sit around in your kitchen for a week or so and measure it again, it's lost a lot of its hydrogen. And also when we cook food, all the hydrogen is gone completely. It disappears. Realized that there was something, a missing ingredient no one had ever talked about in food, which is H- negatively ionized hydrogen. And the strange thing is that I had a sample of Hunza water that was nearly 40 years old that I'd been researching all those years. And I went back to my sealed bottle and measured the water from Hunzaland for H-, and it was loaded with H-. So not only did it have these special minerals, but it also had negatively ionized hydrogen.
These specific drones are very likely the same type of drones that were used in the record-breaking Shenzhen Bay Park light show that was done that shattered tons of Guinness Book of World Records for the 10,197 drones that were flying through the air, creating complex images in the sky. There are actually 2 world records that they broke. The world records that include the most drones airborne simultaneously.
Yeah, but what other practical use could they be used for, you know? So they look great, though.
From a single computer, and also the largest aerial image created by drones. Now, obviously, these specific drones were made for entertainment, and they have lights built into them. They could also be used for military applications. For example, the ability to control thousands of small, cheap, and agile...
I personally think a few things gonna happen. If we do go into another, like, situation where we're the battles of the countries, let's say, right? It might be, robots might be initiated. It might not be as too many foot soldiers, right? They might have, I heard that Korea, Russia, China, they got superhumans. I don't know how true that is, but if they got it, I'll probably be the best Captain America we can have. You know I'm black, but I do the best for us all. You see what I'm saying? Just put me in the machine, champ. I don't want to be no clone now, but put me in a machine. If I gotta turn to a monster, I gotta do what we gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Make the best man win. It is what it is. But I know I can't beat no drone. Like, I'm not beating that. Too efficient. Like, it would probably all them drones could take out probably so many soldiers quickly and efficiently. I'm not even there to say yay or nay. I could see it being very possible, though.
Drones simultaneously from a single computer is a technological feat that could lead to very serious consequences if used in the right way. Now, these things are controlled by a combination of onboard systems and remote swarm artificial intelligence, which allows them to maneuver at high speeds of up to 120 miles per hour and over, which means unless you have some sort of EMP technology or you've got some sort of energy technology that can spread load and take a lot of these things things out at one time, you'd have a real problem on your hands if you were trying to defend, say, a large naval vessel. I will say, however, they do come in a lot of pretty colors. Although imagine if every one of those lit-up drones was carrying an M67 fragmentation grenade, say, for example. That would change the game significantly, wouldn't it? I think these drones, like all other technologies, capable of doing some incredible things if it's in the hands of the right people. Now, that being said, it's a tool. It can be used for good.
AI could be, they say it's like brain waves of maybe the devil or interdimensional being or some wild stuff. I don't know how far AI go. We got the Skynet theories and all types of different things, but I don't know. I'm hoping. I pray that AI more like a Jarvis and it can help me. You know, I'm just saying. And I'm pretty sure some people understand where I come from. When you just don't have like parents growing up, you ain't got. Sometimes you need somebody just to get your thoughts off too. You know, somebody you could trust that won't, hurt your trust. So other than that, that's why I really believe AI can help with it. So many different things, police, because some people scary and they do dumb stuff and it's perceived as more sometime because of the individuals behind it. So we put AI in, they can read things that you just cannot read, facial expressions, body language, temperature, and make a better discernment of the situation than me or you can. Maybe, I don't know.
Good, and it can be also used for evil. Depends on who the individual is or the entity that's in control of it.
I mean, somebody just came in here in media and said that CNN's viewership is only about 50,000 at any particular point in time during the day. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
It's atrocious, and I'll give you an example from sort of the other end of the spectrum.
You think it's just an ordinary mosquito, but it's actually a sophisticated spy device. It's powered by a micronuclear battery with a high-energy laser weapon on the side, a microcomputer built into the tail, a small camera on the head to identify the direction, and a data transmission function in the mouth. No matter how harsh the environment is, even in extreme cold, it can locate the enemy headquarters, sneak through narrow ventilation ducts, find the target equipment, and use a laser to cut a small hole in the computer to implant a virus, thereby paralyzing the enemy's command system. You think it's just an ordinary pigeon, but it's also a spy device. It has nuclear fuel cells, microjet engines, computer chips, and an egg-shaped self-destruct device inside. The small camera on the chest is used to monitor and search for targets. Once the target is locked, the pigeon will transmit the location information to the spy satellite through the antenna on its head. When the satellite confirms the location, it will use weapons to accurately strike the target.
Now, according to the CIA, we reincarnate over and over and over again, and that is weird and goes against most of what we were taught as kids. Now, if you look at ancient texts, books they took out of the Bible, or even reading the Bible with the right frame of mind, reincarnation is clearly what happens. There's not really much arguing it. In fact, if you don't live in America, it might be a very common belief. 2 billion people in this world firmly believe in reincarnation. That's about a quarter. Buddhists, Taoists, Hindus, some versions of Christianity, and many other religions all practice.
Yeah, I got some Muslim friends and stuff.
Fringe science.
So, I study a bit. I ask questions, I just like to know things. I'm into everything. But I do like, Buddhism and different stuff, Taoism, I think it's more so like the lotus flower. You're growing yourself, opening up. No, I know. I'm just saying I like all of the different, how can I say, what's it called? Theology. I think that's what it's called, theology. But yeah, I be just asking questions to try to know different things about people that, specialize with it. Because if I had to say I believe what I believe in, I don't know. I'm not truly gonna side with no faction until I know what I know. You know what I mean? At the moment, I don't know nothing. Yeah, I look at it as stories of one big story. Try not to get too deep with the religious stuff.
If you're in the Western world. Now, you guys should know me by now. I'm going to get
'Cause I don't know.
extremely lit, remove all of my filters, and then talk about this from the heart. Now, this is something I firmly believe in. My dad's friend went to Europe. They went to Europe, and this dude knew the layout of a castle. They get there, and he goes, yo, I have a funny feeling. I've been here before. I lived here. And my dad's like, dude, you grew up in the same neighborhood as me. What the hell are you talking about? And this dude goes, no, I know this place. And proceeded to tour them around. We're going to pass 3 rooms and then there's going to be stairs down to a dungeon or a cellar or something. You know, they all went to this place for the very first time together. Tripped the dude out. He didn't believe in that kind of stuff before, but he definitely did after. He always called me an old soul. A lot of people called me that, but I think I was just smart for my age. And it's only weird if you don't look into the topic further. A lot of people have been through this. This lady was born and started telling her parents she wanted
Lack of identity, that we don't know who we are, so we try to disseminate with anything that could bring us a feeling of community, belonging to something, you know, because a lot of us come from fractured families.
to go home. She's from Egypt. You know, she believed this since a little kid. And they went to Egypt and she started telling archaeologists where to dig. And one of them actually did it.
I know this story.
Actually dug where she said to. And they started finding exactly what she said, you know, different little trinkets and stuff like that. It was nothing big, but that's crazy. She said, I used to live here. My stuff is buried right here. And they found it. She made significant contributions. That is crazy.
I don't know. Personally, I don't know. Personally, they say, I mean, the Bible say hair like wool. I don't know. I'll be honest with you, brother. I don't know. And as I get older, to me, it's not that important. I'm not gonna say I don't care, but it's not that important to me. Like, now, do I think they were black? I mean, I could see them being black. I don't know. There's so many lies afoot. I try to control what I can. I do think it's very important, right? But it's one of them things to where it's like for example, I had an argument with somebody like this. Like when it come to me, don't say I'm anybody else but me, because my story relates with that time. You see what I'm saying? What I went through relates with that time, and I wasn't nothing else. You can't say I'm a robot when I'm a human. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of them things. Yeah, it's just I try not to get too emotionally attached to something, because you could be wrong.
You know, I used to believe in none of this stuff until my business mentor at the time said, try the Gateway tapes. They did a lot of good for me. And I tried the Gateway tapes, and these are, you know, sanctioned by the CIA. They were obsessed with this stuff. It plays frequencies in your ears that heavily manipulate your brainwave.
Agree. I think the reason it's easy for me, and I think a lot of times why it's not easy for a lot of people, like I've been around so many different people, my foundation is mixed, so it's more open. I have more freedom of choice. Most people grow up in a situation where they're taught a certain way, so that becomes their foundation. And once they get older, once they realize this foundation might not be what it is, I think that's where the cracks start to settle. That's where pushbacks start to settle, because they don't, what am I without this? My mom, my dad said this, somebody very important said this, how the world works, this how things work, and it just caused problems. Like I say, I think I'm not smart in a traditional way. I think I'm just a theoretical thinker. That's what I say. I'm not gonna say I'm a genius. I'm not gonna say I'm a theoretical thinker. For some reason, I look at things and just see it different than other people. I just see it different. I can read something and my brain to be like, it just go off, like I look at it like a root system, and I just could see so many different paths. I can't answer that one. I do not know, sir. I do not know. I can't even give you an estimate.
It's supposed to give you an out-of-body experience, and for a while I didn't get one, and then boom, I got slapped in the face with knowledge. I gotta look into it. Slapped in the face by knowledge. I just talked to one of my old friends and told him about Gateway, and I had to warn him, like, you know, keep yourself based in reality, because if anything can make you go crazy, it would be something like Gateway. I went in there and things started talking to me like balls of energy. You know, it's an out-of-body experience. That's what people experience in this kind of thing. It's all the same. And they started telling me I had lived tons of lives before. They even
manipulation of history, feelings, man, maybe other things. There's so many things that would take us further and further away from the truth, whatever that may be, or whatever it may be, you know?
showed me some of them, which sent me for a mind trip. But they told me how the world works, all these things, and it just made sense. And I don't know how else to word it. I came out of that feeling like I was crazy for what I saw, but what I heard made total sense. In fact,
a lot of people that's gonna watch this video on YouTube, brother, gonna be pissed because I'm doing a lot of pausing and talking to you, but it is what it is. I barely get that much engagement anyway, so I don't care. Like I used to like really like ignore like people that say certain things. I just pay attention to the video, but they don't care. Yeah, yeah.
they told me that I was done. I had already figured out what I needed to figure out on the earth, and I had opened my spot up for a new soul to join. They word it like there's just souls in the universe waiting for a human body. It's like a fun experience. It's like a playground. And I was like, hey, this is not fun. And they said, what if you knew everything that was going to happen all the time? Would you enjoy your life truly? And I was thinking, no, of course not. And then they said further, you go through these pains and struggles and happinesses. It's a roller coaster of emotion, of physical sensation. That's what it's supposed to be. You're going to come out and you're going to want to go back in. You're going to sit there and go, that was absolutely crazy. Let's do it again. But they told me I had already done it tons of times and I'd figured out what I needed to figure out, and I hadn't been here in a long time. And they told me also they don't experience time in that way, but they spoke to me in a way that I understood it.
Same.
Now, they told me I'm coming back with a group. Like, it sounds crazy, but just hear me out. It said I'm coming back with a group. I am meant, my purpose is to share this knowledge that they just taught me with everybody else around me, and that all of these people would just have these urges to make themselves known in what they're doing. So a basic recap of it is it slapped me in the face with information. It told me things that would happen to me that
I got
in
to.
order of how it said they would happen over the course of a few months, which, I didn't believe it until
I know some, but not a lot.
that happened. And like I said, it slapped me in the face with knowledge that for some reason just made a lot of sense, and it still does. I don't even plan half these videos when I talk about this stuff. I just start talking.
I think probably the one I looked into the deepest is probably the Anunnaki, Thoth, Emerald Tablets, Egypt. I think for some reason, for me, I get a pull. I really don't talk about them a lot, but I have prophetic dreams, a lot of different things, possible future events, I think. And I have dreams of possible past lives, I think. I don't know. I try not to talk too much about it because I know some people probably think I'm crazy, but I really don't care. At the end of the day, I know at the end of the day, cause and effect to things, so you got to be very mindful of what you say. Do I think, like, for example, I think it's called, like, I butcher it, but it's like Asawaka, right? When you taking psychedelic drugs, you have to be very careful who you tell stuff to, because everybody don't have understanding and open-minded to understand. So they gonna judge you. So you have to be very careful. Egypt go deep, I believe so. I have a lot of stuff with I could make a whole video, brother, on just one thing about Egypt. I don't know how true it is, but when I was younger, I used to have dreams of being in Egypt, like I was a pharaoh or something. It was very complicated. It's only bits and pieces I remember. Maybe it's because I watched some Egyptian movies and Bionicle and different things, but I don't know. I just feel like I feel like it's this feeling, if I go to Egypt, I'm gonna unlock something. Something is like going. I try not to talk about it because I don't know who's listening and doing what, and they might take me out before I even get there.
All that info just comes from within, and doing the gateway tapes like opened a new part of my brain. It feels different. I can't word it well, and you can do the gateway tapes too. They're all over YouTube and Spotify. You got to look around a little bit, plug some headphones in, find a nice comfy area, and start listening. Now, the only part that didn't sit right with me for some reason, and I'll explain why in a second, was it saying I came here with a group to help and that we all had our own purposes and we would all start to understand this around the same time.
And I thought about that too. It could be a location in America that I have in the past, and I think I had one last year to where I'm dreaming about Egypt. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? The dream, I really want to sometime go under hypnosis to hopefully it work, and I could just see what's going on regardless of what it is. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
And make ourselves known at the same time. Not like we had to work together. We're all doing the same kind of thing at the same time. It wouldn't tell me what that higher purpose was. I asked. It said, I literally cannot know because I would ruin it. I would talk about it and I would ruin it. Something along those lines. And that is odd. You know, that never sat super great with me. I'm okay with it. You know, I would love to do good in the world in any way I can. But that was weird. Now, it basically explained to me that word.
Do you think I could have possibly had a past life and I'm remembering bits and pieces? Do you think why I'm so in my thoughts are how it is because I'm connected to a past life or I'm getting information? Because a lot of times it's like I get this feeling that Tudor was a great warrior in the past. Like I don't know how it's certain feelings I get where it's like I could just be because too it's another thing I understand too. Like my experiences, I got to be very careful because of the way I grew up. I grew up alone. I grew up lacking things. So you can create things in your mind. So a lot of times that's why I try not to go too deep because my fear is I've been delusional. You know what I mean? My fear is I spun something up to feel better about myself. So I try to be very careful with things. 6'3.5".
You know, that live in a spiritual body. We can't really touch or feel things in the same way that we can in a physical
Oh, you still
body.
giant, brother.
To be in physical bodies and to learn things, to advance ourselves. Said there's no way to actually do wrong. Everything is an opportunity for growth. And any of those that you hurt, basically, for lack of better.
Check out my YouTube. You will see a lot of wild stuff on there. I got a YouTube. If you don't mind, subscribe to it. It's Joshua G Live. So yeah, just for the most part, I really get a lot of people like passing, like, damn, bro, your arm's big, this, and that. Like my goal at the time before I got injured, and then I got a heart doctor tomorrow because when I was in the womb, one of my valves wrapped around my heart. So sometimes circulation, different things. So the doctor want me to just make sure I'm all right. I couldn't get a physical pass these last 2 times. They wouldn't do it. So I had to go get it checked. And just to make sure I could box, but I am strong as hell. Like the most I ever benched, like I never took nothing in my life, right hand to God. Besides like whey protein, different things. I used to take creatine here, but I haven't took creatine like in 2 years. But I think the most I ever benched was like 625 for like 2 to 4 reps. The most I ever squat was like 600-700. The most I ever deadlift was like 700-800. Like I always just been strong. Yeah, I box. I love boxing. Like you see my video, I think I got the skill set. It's just being patient. You know, your time will come. It's a lot of variables that you're encountering sometime that you can't control. So you just gotta be consistent. You know, but I like it, you know, just especially based off the outcomes in my life. Like I love fighting. Like, bro, I love it. Like it's like not trying to say like but I just it's fun to me. It's very fun. It's like I think it's like chess to me. It's just strategy. It's just a different form of strategy. But I will only have 2 to 4 years in boxing. Once I really get footing, I'm not gonna be in there that long. I need my faculties. I pray, brother. I pray. A lot of times my fear is I'm inadequate and I gas myself up. That's one of my biggest fears. You know, I'm trying to submit like you was right, champ. I got this monkey on my back. I'm trying to beat that. I think some of it is they'll pay you. I believe so. Well, you gotta think about it since the mafia days with the with Jake LaMotta, you got what's his name? The short dude. Damn, I forgot his name. He used to ride trains though. He was nice. He fought Joe Louis. He fought Joe Louis. What was his name? Yeah, Rocky Marciano. I love Rocky Marciano. I love Tyson. I watch Tyson every day on the bike. Like watch my stuff. I be getting it, bro. Like I do, like, bro. I'm different. I just move at a different beat. That's why a lot of times I go to the gym night because you would think I'm a madman. I feel like that, even though prairie people don't care or they just be like, that, hey, that's him. He been doing that for years. I literally just, I go in, run somewhere between 2 to 4 miles, hop on a bike. The most I ever did on the bike is 40 miles in like an hour and something. I work out, bro. I had to learn how to work out smarter, more. It's like I used to do too much. Like I still do a lot of stuff, but I really take my time now. I don't want to be like my father and them. My parents didn't see 50. I need to see 50. I got a lot of things against me, but I won't let that stop me. And that's my goal. I want to live, bro. If I could live to 1,000, bro, without like artificial means, I'm gonna live to 1,000. I just feel like I need to live. I want to see things. I want to experience things. I want to grow. I want to be better, but I do what I can.
Word, in your lifetime will have higher successes in their next because of what you did. It's a give and a take. If you give a ton, you're going to have a really good one where other people will give to you in your next life. If you take a ton, you will have a shitty time until you start to learn what's really important. Money's not really important at the end of the day.
It helps.
It's just about helping other people and, being good. And it basically told me that there's always souls coming and going. As soon as one finishes all of the lessons that they came here to learn, they leave and they open up a spot for a new soul. It said, there's souls on their 1,000th incarnation and there's souls on their first all around you. And it then said, because I had finished mine and had a chance to come back, I was really, really lucky. And, they chose me for good reason. And I would do what I needed to do. I've always wanted to help people since I was a little kid. Just help. Like, I'm going to open a soup kitchen when I have enough money to do that and not be completely broke. But I've always been more attracted to being a good person, even when people aren't looking. That's always been important to me. I'm also autistic, and autistic people are known for having a very strict sense of justice. In a lot of areas, I'll feel bad about.
Thank you, brother.
I don't think others would.
Whatever you're doing, I hope you succeed. Regardless, if you look, I don't even try to have competition, but shoot, you might be better than me in life. I just ask, shoot, you win and come give me a job. Help me, brother. I'll work. I ain't got no felonies, no misdemeanors. I'm just trying to elevate. That's all I'm trying to do. I just want to. I don't want to just live and have a good time, man. That's all I want to do. I just want to have a good time. Want to go to Japan, want to see the world, regardless of all the other BS. I just want to experience things.
Even see it as a bad thing. So I think that might just be the way my brain's wired.
But YouTube,
if you
all right, give me a second.
This kind of stuff, you can always do past life regression hypnosis. I know a lady who does it. She's gonna do it for me next week. I am pretty excited about it.
I gotta fix that thing. Sorry about that.
Mind up to somebody, but I have a good feeling about it. It looks like Kendrick did that and then just wrote that song "Reincarnated," which is one of the deeper songs I've heard in the last 5 years. I think that's
Reincarnated. I'm a star, baby.
I mean, he talks about living hundreds of lives, but he really talks about 3, all being musicians and the different mistakes he made and how now he actually wants to do it the right way and bring harmony to the world. Now, when I was in Gateway as well, it explained that, all of us are like a mirror that's broken, forever fragmented, but all a living piece of the mirror. We're all the same thing that's been split and will forever stay split. So weird way to think about it, but think of like one big being that just split into a ton of small ones. That was kind of how it explained.
That's the egg theory. The egg theory, like God is your father, and you literally are God, and you went down here and you're just experiencing life. I love that theory. It's the egg theory. You're just a God, and you're literally, when I'm talking to you, I'm really talking to myself. It's just a self from a different time. You was Gandhi. You, me, I'm you. I don't know. I hope that one not real. That's kind of weird, but I understand. Think about it. Your wife is you. When you cheated on you. When you was being yourself. It's crazy work if that's true. That's some diabolical ish right there.
I didn't really think too deep into this song. I just thought it was like a really beautiful artistic story. I mean, he frames himself as the devil, like, changing up and becoming good. It's a gnarly song. But he talks to God and it says, every individual is a version of you. And I was like, oh, whoa, like that's like what I heard in Gateway. Tripped me out a little bit. I mean, if you think about it, we're just like containers for a soul.
That's what these aliens said were containers. I don't know what that means, but that's what Bob Lazar said. I don't know. Bob Lazar might be a psyop.
The Bible, they call bodies vessels, I think, for a reason. Now, something to add on top of that is Bob Lazar. He worked at Area 51 like 4 years ago, leaked all this information on UFOs, and just recently, most of it proved to be accurate. He said a lot of things that we just recently heard.
Why now? You think Bob he fake? You think he capping? Think he was there, but he over exaggerating what he was saying? I don't know, bro. I'll be honest with you. A lot of things, I don't know. I think what he's saying is interesting, but I don't know. I don't know if he's telling the truth or lying. I'll be honest with you. I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't studied them enough to answer your question. I know some people would like stay on the fence. No, if I know enough, brother, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, nay. I'm like, nah, I don't think that's real, dog. But it's some things. If I'm in the middle, I'm gonna tell you I don't know. I think it's possible. I don't, He might, like I say, he might be one of them disinformation people that the government sends out. Who knows?
Heard about from that congressional hearing. Now, one thing he said that is unverified, there's no factual basis behind this. Nobody's verified it, but he has a history of being right. He said aliens look at us as containers, and that scares a lot of people for some reason, but it's just containers for us, like a vessel, a body. You're not your body. You're what makes you, I guess. Some people call that your brain. I don't think personality comes from the brain. But anyways, I love you guys, and thank you.
That's it. We got through it. It was a good one. Hopefully everybody liked it. I'm gonna continue to work on different things. But I ain't gonna fake, brother. I appreciate you, communicating with me. And we gonna continue to roll. I might have something I'm gonna put together tonight. Figure out some different things. If you want, you could send me some. I think I got my Instagram link in there. Hopefully everybody liked everything. I catch my YouTubians next time.